LetMeAnimate Suite is a collection of tools that allows you to create smooth and unique animation very easily, saving you many hours of time, which means you can create 3 to 5 times more videos super fast, making your earning also 3 to 5 times more. For example, this documentary style parallax effect, which takes hours to create, but I can create it with few clicks. Let's check out some of the tools in more detail. So first, go to the effect page, then open effect, let me edit, and then let me animate. Here you will get two folders, LMA tools and LMA preset. First, let's check out let me animate tools. So the first tool is our main tool, LMAnimate V3. Using this tool, you can create any smooth animation without creating any keyframes. So here first I'm gonna define the starting position, size and angle. And then at the top, if we check this preview option, it will show us the starting animation and the ending animation. The starting animation is green and the ending animation is red. So if you play, you can see it animates from left side to center. Now, if you want to change the timing of when the animation should start, then you just take your playhead to the time you want your animation to start. And then from these emoji buttons, click on this green circle and it will set the starting animation from here. And similarly, if you want your animation to end like right here, then click on this red square and now you can see the animation ends right here. These other arrow keys will move your playhead to the first keyframe and this one will move your playhead to the last keyframe. Now let's turn off the preview and then move to the ease in. So here you get lots of ease in presets. You can choose any one of them and it will give you a smooth animation. But another thing, I got a request to have the ability to make your own curves. So I also included this custom curves option, which gives you the freedom to make your own custom curves. Now you might be thinking, how can we get more keyframes out of it? So it's very simple. Just whenever you need another keyframe, just make a cut and then select the second clip and then click on this continue button. Then continue animating using the end position, size and angle. And then if you play the animation, you can see it animates from point A to point B, then from point B to point C, just like that. Now you can keep adding more cuts to add more animation very easily. Then here you also have this swap button, which basically inverts your animation. Now let's move to the 3D section. Here you get all the same options, but you also get 3D rotation. So if I play this, you can see it rotates in 3 dimensions. So first option you can see here is this sync checkbox. So by default, the time is linked with the main page timing. So if you want a different timing for the 3D rotation, you can uncheck this. Now you can have a different time for this 3D rotation. Then here you have this ease in option. So the synced means it's synced with the main page curve. So whatever you have, the preset or curve, it will have the same ease in. But you can have a separate preset or a separate curve for this 3D rotation. So if I make a custom curve, you can see we get something like this. Now let's move to the next page, which is FX. To demonstrate this, let's take a different image. Now from this drop down, let's select Fusion Overlay. And then if we check the first mask option, it will apply a rectangle mask. So from this on-screen control, we can adjust a mask. We can also adjust the mask from here. Then we can add a outline. Then we have this outline control and also a shadow. You can adjust the shadow strength according to your needs. And then finally we have this shake. So if you check this and then play, it will add a subtle shake to your image. You can also change the speed and velocity of this shake from here. Then finally we have this save section, which is the best part of this version 3. So about a year ago, when I first launched the version 1, this was my vision from the start. I wanted to make a easy to use and highly customizable tool to create animation, and then you will be able to save those animation as presets. And finally it's reality. So from the save section, you just fill this form. First, let's add which folder it's going to save. Number 3, my preset, then give it a name. Let's say custom outline shake. And now click here to go to the Fusion page. Select the LMAnimate V3 and then hit save preset. Here you can see this message that it has been saved. You might need to restart Resolve to be able to see it on the effects page. Let's check if we get lucky. So on the edit page, if we go to effects, then let me edit, let me animate. Here we have this number 3 my preset folder, and inside it we have our preset that we just made. So let's delete this one and apply this preset. Now we can reuse it as many times as we want. Isn't it great? Now you can make any animation you want and save it as a preset, and you can reuse it anytime you like. Now you don't need to buy 100 preset packs or plugins. You can just get this LetMeAnimate Suite and make your own preset, and you can make the preset that you actually use, which is I think great. So let's move on to the next plugin, which is LMCurve. So this is basically the same plugin, but here in the ease in section, if you select curves, then nothing happens because you have to go to the curve section, and here you can see all the curves. You have the position curve, size curve, and the angle curve. Now position curve has this sync checkbox, which if let's make an animation, then it will be easy to explain. Now if I untick this checkbox and we have different curve for X and Y, you will get a different type of animation. So yeah, I made this plugin separately because it is very lightweight. This way you can customize it, make your own custom curves on each position, size, and angle. And also you have the save option. So with using the same method, if I save this, go to the Fusion page and then hit save. Now if you go back to the edit page, you can see it didn't appear. So let's restart Resolve. And now if we go back to the edit page, and you can see we have our preset, which is amazing. Next we have this LetMeZoom plugin, which automatically adds a smooth zoom. So let's turn on Fusion Overlay, and from this pivot you can move where you want the zoom to be. So the problem I sometimes face is to match the edge, so that's why I added this option. If you check this, it will always keep the image inside the viewer even if you go outside the box. And also if you turn on the preview, it will show you the preview where it's going to zoom. So let's zoom to both hands, and there we have our zoom. Next we have this very popular plugin 3D Cam, which allows you to make 3D parallax effect without any 3D knowledge. You don't have to wrap your head around on any 3D concept. Just drag and drop and it will do its thing. And also if you go to the LM presets, you can see we have some presets here. So for the middle character, let's drag this camera for center object, then for the right side character, and for the left side character, this one. And our final animation is this. Like, can you imagine making it manually? It will take literally an hour, and you have to tinker with lot of 3D nodes, and that's going to be very laggy. But this runs smooth as butter on any PC. By the way, you can also get parallax slide. Just uncheck see zoom and check see slide. Then this background will just slide like this. Now I have lot more plugins, but let me show you some generators. So if you go to the generators, let me edit and let me animate. First you get this LMZoom, which is basically LetMeZoom but as a generator. So that you don't have to use LetMeZoom on an adjustment clip, you can just use this generator and it works the same. Then we have this very powerful grid generator, which can generate animated grids very easily. Then finally we also have some transition. So go to the transition section. So this TrSlide, which is great, if you add it to any clip, it will automatically add a slide animation on any direction. And if you add that transition on the end of the clip, you have to change the end slide from here. And because it's a transition, you can combine two different clips and add the transition at the middle, and then you can have this kind of sliding animation between two clips. So that's it. For the other tools you can check out yourself. They are all very easy to use. And another thing, I will be adding more presets to this LM preset section, so stay tuned for that. And it will be a free update for everyone who purchased this plugin. So yeah, thank you so much everyone who has supported me this throughout the year. I've been working on this plugin this whole year, and it means a lot to me that you guys are like that you guys really like my plugins. So thank you so much for using them.